I want to know that my grandson can get along well with his Christian neighbors, with his Muslim neighbors, and live in a country where we respect one another and more than tolerate one another, where we celebrate together. And I think what's going on in the Emirates is a great harbinger for that possibility.
I'm very optimistic about the future of the country. I think that from the days of our founding fathers and the generations before us, they have built so much and have created so much in such a short amount of time. And it's a huge responsibility for us, the newer generation, because with the developing world and the development in technology and all of that, we have to work twice as hard and we have to aim twice as high so that we can continue this journey and continue writing our history as people of the Emirates.
They say, come back in 2 years, come back in 5 years. My God, this is gonna be an amazing place.
This is the miracle in the desert, as I call it. This community is the miracle in the desert. It's amazing to me.
I want people to say, you know what? There's a way for us to reopen the door between Jews and Muslims wherever we might be. And that the key that unlocks the door is the Torah. It's so simple.
I work with a generation of youth that has the power to transform our values into verbs. Love is the basis of our faith relationships to Allah, to Yahweh, to God. If He is large enough to contain our world, He is certainly large enough to contain our differences. And in this day and age, personally, I believe that love is what the family of Abraham needs the most. Shabbat Shalom and Salam Alaikum, and may God bless us all.
Amen.
Amen.
Truly appreciate the round of applause for the brilliant movie. Ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly request you all to be settled and feel free to have as many pictures and videos you can. And do remember to tag us and hashtag global justice, hashtag love, hashtag peace, hashtag, ladies and gentlemen, the entire Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit. Feel free to have as many pictures as you would like, but begin in the next 1 minute from now. So a humble request to all of you to kindly take your seats and be settled. I welcome you all for the post-lunch session day one at our prestigious Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit 2025 at Dubai Expo. Ladies and gentlemen, just for all of us to be settled, allow me to have the countdown of 7, since we have 7 values that we believe to change the world. We start with our own selves. So at the countdown of 7, may we please begin our post-lunch session of day one at our prestigious Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit. My lovely team, if we can have this chair in the right place. Someone from my team. Someone from my team, if we can have the chair in the right place. Guys, is there someone from my team? Hi, thank you. Adolphe, that's kind of you. I appreciate it. I'm so sorry for this. But thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome back. Post the sumptuous, lovely, and kind lunch that we were all served here. As I mentioned in the morning, ladies and gentlemen, this is much more than the summit. And we as souls are connected with that oneness. And what a brilliant feeling to come together from all across the world with all our brothers and sisters and become one, binded with love, respect, and now what we're going to talk about is sustainability. As we all know, we have no other place to go than our very own planet Earth. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a greener planet for our future generations to come, so that they could relish on this planet Earth, because I know we all live in the world of artificial intelligence, but as of yet, we have no other place to go than our very own planet Earth. And what is very interesting is that how is love connected with sustainability? Well, let me tell you, it's always about love, and there's a very beautiful saying by a very renowned saint on love, which says, "It is the law of life. We live that we may learn to love. We love that we may learn to live. No other lesson is required of man." And that is why when we love something, we automatically care, and it becomes more than a duty, it becomes something we do it out of sheer love. Just like the way the best love is between a mother and a baby. So it's time for us, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome each and every one of you with that bright smile for our next session. Beloved Mother Earth, our home, can love for the planet inspire a more sustainable future? Let's find out this and more. Ladies and gentlemen, humanity faces an unprecedented climate catastrophe on the horizon, and with it, an uncertain future for the generations to come. Can seeing Earth as something to love rather than exploit change humanity's trajectory? When we love the Earth as our home, protecting it becomes an inspired act of devotion, not just our duty. Before we invite our brilliant, distinguished panelists and the moderator for the session, I'm going to have a few seconds on case studies done on love coming together with sustainability. Well, ladies and gentlemen, too often, whether climate action is framed through the lenses of science and policy, but what if the missing ingredient is love? This session invites us all to reimagine our relationship with the planet by exploring. And here is a little case study done at Bhutan, which says Bhutan replaced GDP with gross national happiness. Maori in New Zealand with legal personhood for nature. What really changed there? In 2017, the Wanguni River was granted legal personhood, recognizing it as an ancestor rather than a resource. Colombia, the rights of Atrato River, it's all along with that feeling of love. And also with love comes very close and dear devotion. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to welcome the moderator of this session. And I'm going to please invite my distinguished panelists and the moderator to sit as per the beautiful picture on our very amazing backdrop, which is truly soulful. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a real privilege to welcome who is not only a trailblazing stateswoman, but also a globally celebrated biodiversity scientist. As a pioneering biodiversity scientist and the former president of Mauritius, she has championed the idea that science must serve both people and planet. May we all put our hands together in welcoming the first female president of Mauritius, Her Excellency, Dr. Amina Gurib Fakim, a former president of the Republic of Mauritius. She often recalls walking through the forests of Mauritius as a child with her dad, learning the names and healing powers of native plants, that early wonder which became a lifelong mission to protect nature through knowledge, leadership, and love. And, Your Excellency, you once said, biodiversity underpins life on Earth, a simple truth that reminds us how deeply we rely on this natural world. It's truly a huge honor to have your gracious presence, and you look magnificent. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue the applause as we welcome His Excellency, Judge Muhammad Abdul Salam, Secretary General of the Muslim Council of Elders, and a leading voice for interfaith unity and global peace. As a key architect of the document on human fraternity, he has long championed the idea that shared values, especially love and care for creation, and can unite us in action. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a huge roar of applause as we welcome Your Excellency, Judge Muhammad Abdul Salam. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. It's such a huge honor. Let's continue the applause, ladies and gentlemen. I love the roar of applause. It's because of the energy that we just had. And also, besides the food, it's also the meet and greet when such lovely souls come together. Sir Dr. Hus, I've never experienced such awesomeness in my life. So thank you. Let's continue the applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome our next panelist. It's time for us to put our hands together for the most venerable, His Holiness, Dr. Thich Hat Hue, who's a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, a very renowned scholar, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, one who really gives the right guide to the world and the light. We are fortunate we have his divine presence, and at the same time, we have the pleasure to hear from him. Ladies and gentlemen, as the founder of the Buddhist University and the leading voice in social and spiritual development, his life's work reflects the essence of engaged Buddhism, where mindfulness leads to meaningful action, guided by the principle of interbeing, that all life is deeply interconnected, he teaches that caring for the planet is inseparable from caring for ourselves and each other. In his words, true love is born from understanding. Your Holiness, humble thanks to you with folded hands. The shine, the glow on your face, Your Holiness says it all, and we would definitely like to learn that mantra as well. How do you glow so much? Thank you, Your Holiness. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. His Holiness, Dr. Tij Hathu. May we please welcome our next panelist, who brings a wealth of experience in leadership, discipline, and strategic vision. General Bikram Singh, we salute you, a former chief of the Indian Army and former UN force commander in Congo. During his tenure, I love the chair, thank you, we salute you, sir. During his tenure, General Singh led modernization efforts in the Indian Army, including refining procedures to ensure timely environmental and forest clearances for critical infrastructure along India's northern borders. Ladies and gentlemen, his presence on this panel offers a valuable perspective of how structured, long-term thinking and disciplined leadership can contribute meaningfully to environmental stewardship. Once again, let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for General Bikram Singh. Thank you. I'm very excited to hear the roar of applause, and especially in the times of AI where we have the gadgets in our hands. It's amazing. It's time for us, ladies and gentlemen, to put our hands together for our living legend, the business leader, the philanthropist, who proves that profit and purpose can and must coexist. As the chairman of Godrej Industries, he has championed sustainability not as a side initiative, but core business philosophy. Ladies and gentlemen, in one of his poems, he wrote, "Let's not destroy what we adore. Let's heal the earth and love it more." I'd also like to give it a mention that, ladies and gentlemen, our visionary, our industrialist, the one and only, the very renowned Nadir Godrej sir, is also the personification of love. I still have to come across a second or a moment where I miss his smile. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please, once again, a loud roar of applause, as today he brings the rare blend of science, stewardship, and soul to his dialogue. Nadir Godrej sir. Joining us, ladies and gentlemen, online for our virtual session, joining us online is Dr. Faizi Masroor Milani, an elected representative of the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Brazil, and a powerful advocate for cultivating cultures of peace through education and community development. Dr. Milani has spent decades empowering youth to become agents of change, fostering environments of nonviolence, respect, and unity. We are truly honored and humbled to have Dr. Faizi Masroor Milani joining us virtually to this meaningful conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please put our hands together and give a huge roar of applause to all our distinguished panelists. And it's time for us to invite our moderator to move ahead. What a beautiful feeling, ladies and gentlemen, as it's absolutely a pleasure to request for this brilliant session our moderator, Her Excellency, Dr. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, a humble thanks to Sir Hussain Abbasi, who's here with us. We welcome you, sir, on this very, very essential. Oh, thank you so much, sir. All right. Wow. I do have that, sir. I have it with me. Thank you for joining us right on time, sir. Humble thanks to you with folded hands. That's very special for us. A special roar of applause, ladies and gentlemen, till the time I find the right connect right now. My mind and my body, yes, is looking forward to that connect. Maybe please have a huge round of applause for everyone post-lunch session, where we all will feel extremely energetic, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, the key figure, it's time for us to put our hands together one more time for our Nobel Peace Laureate, Hossein Abbasi. In the midst of Tunisia's political uncertainty, he didn't raise a fist. He opened a dialogue. Through patience and resolve, he helped guide a nation towards peace, proving that when we choose understanding over division, transformation is possible. And so one said, the dialogue succeeded because it was rooted in sincerity and love for the country. That same spirit of love as a force for healing resonates deeply with today's conversation. Once again, as we kindly request Your Excellency to begin with this very interesting session. Humble thanks to you.
Thank you so much, Madam. Good afternoon to you all. It's a real pleasure to be here with you today for a session that speaks not just to the mind, but to the heart. As a scientist, I have spent much of my life studying plants, quiet teachers rooted in the wisdom of the earth. I have always believed that nature doesn't just sustain us physically, it nourishes us spiritually. Every leaf, every flower, every medicinal root I've studied has whispered the same message: we do not own the earth, we belong to it. Growing up in Mauritius, I often wandered the forests and the fields with my father, listening as he named plants and told stories of their uses, remedies passed down generations. At the time, I didn't realize that these walks were more than science in the making. They were acts of connection, love, reverence. Those forests weren't resources. They were part of our extended family. So let's begin this conversation with those that have thought deeply, lived fully, and acted boldly in service of our shared home. So my first question to our panel is, can emotional connection, like love or reverence, be more effective than data or policy in driving sustainable change? Let us start with Mr. Godrej.
Undoubtedly, love and reverence is a necessary condition, but I'm not sure it is a sufficient condition. I think it is the foundation. We must begin by loving the earth and nature and realize that it is what sustains us, but then we have to move to the next step and find viable solutions as well.
Thank you, Dr. Godrej. Sir Hussein.
بداية أريد أن
At the beginning,
أتقدم
I
بالشكر
would like to thank
وأنا سعيد
deeply and
هذه اللحظة
while I am happy
بوجودي معكم
in
وبين
this moment
شخصيات
with you being
سياسية
with you and
حقوقية
the
دينية
legal and
عسكرية
religious,
اجتماعية
military, social
تجمعنا في
icons
الحقيقة
that gather us,
محبة هذا الكون
love of this
تجمعنا في الحقيقة
universe
معناها الإخلاص
and
إلى هذا الكون
dedication to this
تجمعنا
universe
أيضا قيم
and gathering us
طالما ناضلنا من
values
أجلها وناضلت من أجلها الإنسانية
people or humanity struggled
إنها
for them.
احترام الأرض
It is
واحترام
the
الكون.
respect of the
فلا
universe and the
مكان
earth. There is no place
لعيش مستدام
to live
ومستطاع
sustainably
إلا إذا ما توفرت
unless there
معناها
are
على هذا الكون
on this
بيئة نظيفة
earth
وعدلا
a
اجتماعيا
good environment and
واقتصاديا
social and economic
وكذلك
fairness and justice,
معناها
and also
حافظنا
we
على
maintain
مدخرات هذه
the
الأرض
resources of
وعدم
this
بالشكل
earth and do not exploit them randomly. We should be aware of that the future of the generation, they have the right for this earth. So respecting this earth and loving this earth, we should not only make sustainability and development, but we should make humanitarian love that makes love on this earth a good and sustainable
Thank you.
thing.
Shukran. General Bikram Singh.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, I have sought the permission of Her Excellency to first clarify, and also from the chairman of this event, Mr. Kharakiwala, as to what is an army guy doing over here. You know, when you people are talking in terms of love, peace, and justice, what is an army man doing over here? Let me just clarify in a minute. And incidentally, while having lunch, there were students of one of the local schools who sat with me, and they had very interesting questions to ask. And one of the questions was the same one that I've just, put across to you, that what am I doing here? And number two was, is war an evil necessity? Right, let me come on to one thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here because when all these, missions of peace, of love fail, when diplomacy fails, it's the military that steps in to ensure there is peace and it is sustained. So the fundamental principle on which the military operates is not to wage war, but to ensure peace. This is the fundamental principle. And as far as the use of force is concerned, ladies and gentlemen, there is a Latin term called jus ad bellum. That is justification for war, justification for the use of force. And we use force as a last resort. We use it with the right intention and only when it is necessary. Otherwise, we don't use it. Just cause has got to be there, so it's a cause. Right now, coming on to the question, I fully endorse what Mr. Godrej has said. Both love and affection, love and concern have to go hand in glove, hand in hand with the policy. That's very important because the conflict today, ladies and gentlemen, incidentally, why 17 sustainability goals of United Nations have not been able to be fulfilled so far. And mind you, 2030 is the time limit. So far, only 17% goals out of 135 goals targets have been achieved. Now, that's the kind of slow pace we are moving on. Why, ladies and gentlemen? The reason is only one, that this very utopian, very idealistic approach will work to an extent beyond which you've got to get into realism. And today there's a conflict between idealism and realism. Ladies and gentlemen, countries operate under realism. There are national interests which are paramount. And national interests, when you look at them, they believe in the use of not just persuasion, but also in virtually compelling people to do something. And that's where the use of force comes in. So when you speak of this question, in answering this question, I would say that while love, peace is very, very important to move forward, that should be the fundamental principle. But then the issue is that we've got to go by national interests as well, where nations will not compromise their national interests for love and peace. And they will use various means to ensure those interests are fulfilled. And we have Her Excellency, who's been the President of Mauritius, she knows it very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Most vulnerable, can we get your take, please? Thank you.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, coming from the background of Vietnam, the victim country of war, from the external invasion, we respect and love best for the people. When war occurred, there is no justification. So we encourage and request people to recognize coexistence in a peaceful background so that we can develop happiness, especially in the peace for the future, which is sustainable. So we are very much appreciate the chairman of this summit who kindly organizing this summit for all religious leaders as well as the political policy maker to express their insight as well as their contribution for the better world we live together. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge, Salam.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Thank you very much, my dear friend, Your Excellency, Amina. And I would like to thank all the organizers of this very important event, Dr. Huzaifa, the chairman of this summit, and my dear friend, Ekaterina, and everyone who has contributed to the organization of this event. I believe your question is very important. Can love for this planet guide us to a more sustainable future? Certainly, yes. If we are serious, committed, and feel responsible in our love for this planet, we will be able to achieve this. I believe that the concept of responsibility, of having this trust towards the earth, do we feel the significance and the enormousness of this trust towards the stewardship of the planet Earth? Or we just adopt a materialist and a consuming approach towards the earth? I believe we need to reflect more philosophically on this theme and this topic, and we should work through education and through social studies to make sure that everyone understands the magnitude of this responsibility, and that we should adopt a view that instead of consuming the resources, we should pass them in generosity and in a feeling of responsibility towards next generation and our children and our fellow humans. And we should make sure that this earth will be left on and passed on in the best form and the best shape for next generations. In Islam and in Islamic philosophy, love is inherently tied to service, particularly to one's fellow human beings, no matter how great an individual's capability. Human beings remain in need of one another, and that the person should make sure to provide all needed support and all needed protection to these sources. Ethics cannot be separated from the concept of stewardship to the environment.
Shukran. I'll stay with you for the next question. How does the document on human fraternity connect to environmental responsibility and care?
Yes. شكرا جزيلا. هذا سؤال مهم.
Thank you very much for your answer. Of course, the document on human fraternity signed by His Eminence the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Professor Ahmed Tayyib, along with his brother, His Holiness Pope Francis, head of the Catholic Church in the capital of the United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, in 2019, is certainly a historic humanitarian declaration by Par Excellence. This declaration addresses all the shared concerns of humanity. It addresses all believers, whether Christians, Muslims, and even non-believers. Therefore, the document has tackled many challenges that face humanity. However, it has focused and has directed a very explicit invitation and call to believers and non-believers alike to carry out their responsibility, their ethical and their humanitarian and religious responsibility, and also called on all political leaders and policy makers, economists, scholars to work seriously and collectively to protect the environment and to counter together this decline in the environment and the climate change. Actually, this declaration, the document on human fraternity, has inspired many initiatives, and His Holiness Pope Francis has issued his biblical encyclical, Laudato Si, and the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar has also released the call of religious leaders for the protection of the planet Earth, and they spread awareness about the risk of climate change.
Shukran jazilan. Most vulnerable, kindly share your view on reconciliation of Vietnam War as a way of peace and love for human lives.
In 1955 to 1975, the Americans started the war on Vietnam. As a result of that war, 2.5 million people died from Vietnam, including military and civilian people. And from the American side, about 58,220 American soldiers died, and 150,000 wounded. So in order to overcome the past suffering created by Americans, the Prime Minister of Vietnam in 1995, Võ Văn Kiệt, has asked the Politburo of Vietnam to consider to normalize the diplomatic relationship with the American government. And luckily, the President of U.S., Bill Clinton, also have the same policy. So both of them should hand together to modernize the relations. And during 4 decades, from 1955 to 1995, the hostility between the two countries very strong and remain. So both of them have to overcome the suffering, not only from American side or Vietnamese side, but for the benefit as well as to make Vietnam escape from the international isolation, as well as to attract more foreign investment. So that means when we build peace to reconciliation, that is not stop the war, but also ensure the sustainable development for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. General Bikram Singh, you mentioned earlier on that the army, they have a key role in terms of addressing peace. And you stress also on the issue of realism. But how can the military and strategic planning contribute to environmental responsibility?
At the strategic level, before I come to that, ladies and gentlemen, one aspect I would like to highlight. You know, as we all sit in this air-conditioned hall and discuss peace and love and justice, at this point of time, there are 100,000 men and women wearing blue berets in 12 missions in conflict areas on the globe today, trying to give us peace. And I think they need a salute from all of us. The second aspect I want to tell you is that ever since the peacekeeping operations started, ma'am, I'm coming to your point. Since 48 we started these operations, there have been 72 missions so far, ladies and gentlemen. And in these, 4,000 men and women have lost their lives in giving all of us peace so that we can sit here today and discuss. They again deserve a salute. So I thought this is an important aspect which must be mentioned. And because these people they're in very, very difficult conditions, let me tell you this. With total disregard to personal safety, they face privations to give us peace. And I think my humble request to Mr. Karakiwala would be that in the next chapter of this particular event, wherever it is held next year, we must contribute some time to these heroes who are giving us peace on the globe. They are forgotten a lot. They should not be forgotten. they should be given their dues. Right, ma'am, your issue regarding how can the military strategy or the aspects of strategic thinking and planning contribute to this mission, which has been put forth by the chairman. But ladies and gentlemen, when we talk in terms of the strategic planning gives us a roadmap. It enables us to deal with risk, because we are all good at making excellent plans. But plans never actually go the way they are planned. There's an old saying in the army, the first contact never withstands. In fact, all plans of ours, they never withstand the first contact. The moment a bullet is fired, the first bullet, first contact, the plans go awry. And plans have got to be thereafter, you've got to be a mentally agile leader, you've got to be a versatile leader, thinking on your feet to be able to take the situation, control it, and ensure that the success is achieved. Right, so with regard to strategic planning, when we look at, you cater for risks. It's a holistic risk you cater for. You understand what's the end state. You have the interplay of ends, ways, and means when you talk in terms of strategic planning. Ends are what you want to achieve in terms of peace, stability. What resources you have are the means, and what are the ways. Ways are the courses of action which strategic thinkers, strategic leaders, they evolve as part of the strategy.
Okay.
And this is something which we all have to think about. And when I say that, we've not been able to do well as an international community in achieving those 17 goals, sustainability development goals, and out of 135, only 17 are on track at the moment, likely to be achieved by 2030. Yes. It is on account of the fact that we have not gone by our course of action. We have not gone by our plan. Though, of course, there's a conflict between realism and idealism, which I just brought out earlier. But I think we need to follow this course, follow this methodology to ensure that we use our resources properly. We are accountable. Responsibility is fine, ladies and gentlemen. That is tasking. But accountability is very important. Accountability is getting the answers from the people, why it has not been done. If that is not asked, things will not move. And this is where leadership comes in, military leadership. You've got to be up and about. You've got to make people accountable. You've got to move around with love, passion, compassion, and everything. But when it comes to ensuring goals, ladies and gentlemen, then, well, you've got to be slightly nasty as well. This is what we teach in the army. Yes. But again, while being nasty, we don't forget that we are dealing with a human being. So therefore, we use kid gloves. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. To our Nobel Peace Laureate, Hussein Abbasi, you have helped guide Tunisia towards peace through dialogue. How can the same spirit of care and cooperation guide us in healing the earth?
شكرا السيدة الرئيسة على هذا السؤال.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the question. In fact, my country lived some years after 2012 years of conflict. It was about to divide the country, and a conflict that a lot of parties that exploited it so as to jump to the revolution. But utter confusion prevailed in my country, and it was a chance for a lot of parties to cultivate diversity rather than unity, and bad instead of goodness. And also there are other parties, let me say, that they are still want and work in policies, but in fact they do not have anything to do with policies or do. And approximately this mixture our country has witnessed started
ثم
with
بعنف مادي
verbal,
ثم بعد ذلك
then physical
بدأ
violence,
الإرهاب
then terrorism started,
يحذر نفسه لكي ينقض على
warns itself
ثورة
so
شعبنا
that it will jump
وينقض
over our
أيضا
revolution
على
and
الجهود التي يمكن
to
أن تبذل من
undermine the
أجل
efforts
انتقال
that would
سلمي
be
ديمقراطي.
paid for the peaceful transition and democratic transition in our
ففي
country.
هذه الفترة
In
التي
that period,
أذكرها
which I
بكثير
am
من
mentioning,
من الحزن
a lot
التي
of
أذكرها بكثير
sorrow,
من اللوعة
which I mention thoroughly and
على البلد
passionately
الذي عشت فيه
about the country
وترعرعت
where I
فيه
lived and
ولكن جاءت الفكرة
grew, the idea came
للمنظمة التي كنت
for the
أشرف
organization
على
that I
رئاستها
was
اللي هو
presiding, which
الاتحاد العام
is
التونسي للشغل
the Tunisian
وهي منظمة
labor union,
نقابية
which is
تونسية
a Tunisian
تدافع عن
organization
حقوق
that
الأجراء
defend
الاقتصادية
the wages of
والاجتماعية.
people, social and
ولكن أيضا كان
economic
هناك نداء
rights.
توجهنا به
There was a
إلى
call also
أصدقائنا
we,
من
by
المجتمع
which we
المدني
address our countries from the
الذين
civil
يقاسموننا
community
نفس الهم
who share
ونفس
us
الفكرة.
our care and
فكانت
the same
أن
idea and the
تجاوبت
same
معنا عبادة
care.
المحامين بتونس
The lawyer
وبعدها تجاوبت
deanship
معنا الرابطة التونسية لدفاع عن
responded
حقوق
to us
الإنسان
and the Tunisian
ثم
Association
أيضا
for the
معناها
the defense of
الاتحاد
humanitarian rights
التونسي للصناعة والتجارة أو ما
and also the
نعتبره
Tunisian
ما يسمى
Industrial and
بأحباب العمل.
Commercial
وكونا هذا
Association. We had made the four parties
الذي كان شرف لرئاسته
which I was honored
بقيادة
to
حوار
preside to
وطنيا
lead a national
جمع
dialogue
بين كل
that
الفرقاء
gathers
السياسيين
all the different parties,
وكانت
political
تقودنا
parties,
حاجة بلادنا إلى
and
السلم
the
والسلام
need for peace
ولكن كانت
to our
تقودنا
country
أيضا
led us,
محبتنا لهذا
and
الوطن
also the love to this country
وكعلاش
also
اليوم
led us as well.
نراوى أن هناك ربط
We would like to show that there is a connection
الحب يتمكن
between
الشخص
how the
هذا
love
المثل البسيط في بلد صغير
encompasses some
في
person
شمال إفريقيا
in this country,
كان
small country
نموذجاً
in the northern of
لكي
Africa. It was a
يقدره جميع
model
العالم ولننال من وراء هذا الفعل
respected by all
جائزة
people,
نوبل للسلام
and
لسنة
after that
2015
we got
لأننا
and obtained
استطعنا
the Nobel Prize in
أن نجنب
2015 because
بلدنا
we were able to
ويلات الحرب الأهلية
prevent or to
وويلات
protect our
العنف
country from the civil
وويلات
war
الإرهاب
and terrorism
وفعلا لأن
repercussions,
البلد
and
بلغ
in
اغتيالات
fact the
السياسية
country
والعمليات
witnessed a
الإرهابية.
lot of political
وكان هذا
assassinations
الحوار
and
مدرسة
terrorism
أو فضاء اجتمع
operations.
حوله كل المختلفين السياسيين
All the political
بغاية التجاوز
people
وبغاية الانتقال
met
بالبلد
to overcome
عبر
and
الحوار إلى
move
شاطئ
the country
السلام
to the
وإرساء
peace
الديمقراطية
beach
عوضاً
and
عن
consolidate
الفوضى.
democracy instead
ما
of
الربط
chaos
هنا
and
أردت أن أذكر
arcanism.
أنه
What I
هذا
would like
النموذج
to
الصغير
point out
لحبنا لوطننا
that this small model of our love to our country and
والجهود التي
how
بذلناها من أجل
to
إنقاذه
pay efforts
تجرنا اليوم
to
إلى
save our
العنوان
country has
الذي
led us to the title
يتضمنه
which
هذا الملتقى
includes
اللي هو بالحب
included in this summit
وبالعدل
which is
يمكن
love
أن
and
نتغلب
justice.
على كل الصعوبات
We can
ويمكن أن
overcome
نقهر
all the
الصعوبات
difficulties and defeat
ويمكن
them,
أن نحقق
and we can
الأمن
realize
والسلام
security
فقط
and peace
في هذا الكوكب
on
ولكن
this
أيضا
earth, but
على أن
also
نحقق
to realize and achieve
استدامة
the sustainability,
للتنمية.
the development, in development.
المون جنرال كان يذكر وأن هناك الأهداف
The general
17
mentioned the
التي
7
معناها استقاسها
SDGs by the UN
وكيفية التعثر
and
في
how
عدم
to
تحقيقها.
interrupt
طبعا
in
هناك
not
صراع
achieving
دائما
them. Of course,
بين
there
الخير
is
والشر
a
بين
conflict
من يحب
between
السلام
good
ولكن
and badness
من
between
يعمل
those
على
people
عكس
who
ذلك.
love peace and who hate
ولكن
peace.
إذا توفرت
But
محبتنا
if we have love,
ممكن أن
we can
تتجمع جهود
gather
السياسيين
our political
مع العسكريين مع
and military
الأكاديميين
and academic
مع
efforts
الناشطين السياسيين
and the activists,
أن
political activists,
معناها ننقذ هذا
and
الكون
save this
وأن نجعل
earth
العيش
and
فيه
make
مستطابا
live
لنا
is good
وللأجيال
for
القادمة.
us and the coming generations as well.
Thank you. Chairman Nadia Godrej, you've spoken about healing the earth. What's your vision for how business and industry can become stewards, not just stakeholders of the planet?
Thank you, Madam President. It is no longer climate change within a tolerable range. A crisis is what it's about, with fires, floods, as well as drought. Every week, a constant blast, far worse than seen in the past. If we must, we will adapt. Prevention, though, would be more apt. There is a cost to adaptation. It's rising fast in every nation, as well as for the world at large. This will be a heavy charge. In fact, we should all conclude prevention would be really shrewd. In practice, it would cost much less and avoid a lot of stress. All industries should play a role in the carbon neutral goal. GHG emissions should be reduced. More green energy should be produced. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We have Dr. Faizi Masroor Milani online. So for Dr. Milani online, I will ask him my general question and then his question on healing the earth. So let me ask how can emotional connection like love or reverence be more effective than data or policy in driving sustainable change? And then Dr. Milani, I will ask you, if healing the earth begins with healing our hearts, could you share how the Baha'i community is working to promote this inner and collective transformation? The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Greetings from Brazil. Although I'm joining you virtually, I feel deeply connected to each of you and to this momentous gathering. To me, love is not just an emotion, it's a capacity, a human potential, something we can nurture and develop until it embraces all of humankind, all of nature, and even the universe. In fact, I believe one of the purposes of life is to learn how to love. And I learned early on that true love cannot exclude anyone. You see, I was born and raised in Brazil, the son of Iranian parents. My father has Muslim roots, my mother Jewish, and we are members of the Baha'i faith. We lived in a Christian country, and Brazil itself, it's a beautiful blend of indigenous, European, and African heritage. So my story began at the intersection of four religions, 2 nationalities, and many cultures. Because of that, I never believed in the barriers that try to divide us, barriers of race, class, nationality, or belief. They felt superficial to me. Looking deeper, I have always seen one reality, one planet, one human family. And that, to me, is the foundation of loving the earth. Because how can we truly cherish this planet, its air, its water, its minerals, its plants and animals, if we haven't yet learned to cherish each other? How can we care for our shared home if we still turn away from some of the people who live in it? How can we embrace the wholeness of nature if we continue to build walls between ourselves based on color, gender, faith, or status? Imagine a household where the siblings are always arguing, each trying to dominate, each believing they are superior. Who in such a home will care for its walls, its garden, its very foundation? But in a home where there is love, where unity reigns, where women and men are equal, where everyone is valued and respected, in that home, isn't it natural that they will protect and nurture what they share? So perhaps the first step towards sustainability is not technical nor technological, but spiritual. It begins in the heart, by awakening a real lived sense of the oneness of humanity. Only then can we love the earth not as scattered individuals, but as one united family caring for our one and only home. Madam President, should I answer the second question right away?
Sorry, you wanted to react to the second question I asked you about the
work of the Baha'i community.
The work of the Baha'i,
no?
yes. Share how the Baha'i community is working to promote this inner and collective transformation.
Thank you. It's a very interesting question. Across the globe, a growing number of individuals and families inspired by the teachings of the Baha'i faith are engaged in grassroots efforts to foster spiritual and social transformation. While often initiated by members of the Baha'i community, these efforts are far from exclusive. People from all backgrounds, regardless of religion, ethnicity, or social class, are coming together in a shared commitment to the betterment of their neighborhoods and villages in sustainable ways. At the heart of this process are educational programs that are open to all and grounded in principles such as the oneness of humanity, the nobility of the human being, the value of service, and the equality of women and men. Through these programs, children, junior youth, youth, and adults participate in collective learning that strengthens spiritual qualities, intellectual capacities, and the ability to serve. In doing so, they become protagonists of their own material and spiritual development. Children's classes nurture virtues like kindness, truthfulness, and honesty. Junior youth programs help adolescents build a strong moral identity and recognize their power to positively shape their surroundings. Youth and adults join study circles that deepen their understanding of spiritual concepts and develop practical skills for community service. Devotional gatherings create spaces for shared reflection and spiritual connection. Conversations among neighbors explore how spiritual principles can guide daily life. Together, these efforts give rise to a vibrant and evolving pattern of community life, and over time, a culture of collaboration, learning, and mutual support begins to emerge, one in which each person feels empowered to contribute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as we have you online, I have one question for you. How can we reconcile modern development goals with the need for planetary compassion and care?
I believe that it goes back to the question of the recognition of the oneness of humanity. The oneness of humanity is the basis for this big transformation. As a medical doctor, I have learned that before proposing a treatment, we need a clear understanding of the cause of the illness, especially when the condition is serious. We can't afford to rely on trial and error. So if we look at some of the global issues before us, climate change, poverty, hunger, corruption, terrorism, public health emergencies, these aren't local problems, they cross borders, and they require something we often struggle with: global cooperation, shared vision, and unity in action. From my perspective, there is one issue at the root of all these problems: the failure to recognize the oneness of humanity. As long as we remain divided by race, nationality, religion, or ideology, real and lasting solutions will remain out of reach. We might see progress in some areas, but we won't achieve peace, justice, or sustainability in a lasting way. Now, love is the greatest force we have, but even love needs to be guided by a deep awareness that we are one human family.
Thank
and
you.
here is an important distinction. Unity and oneness are not the same. Unity in diversity is like a fruit salad. Each fruit keeps its flavor and color, but together they create something richer and more beautiful. Oneness is more likely the human body. We all start from one single cell. Every part of the body is different, but completely interdependent. When one part suffers, the whole body feels it. And when the body is healthy, each part thrives.
Okay.
So I believe that the very first step we all need to give is raise our awareness about the oneness of humanity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. To our panelists physically present, we have 2 minutes each. Can we have view of Dr. Godrej on how can we reconcile modern development goals with the need for planetary compassion and care? How can we reconcile modern development goals with the need for planetary compassion and care?
My uncle, known as Sohrabji, way back could clearly see the environment was under stress. Neglect, he knew, would be a mess. In saving tigers, he played a role. The environment was a major goal. Our creekside land was reserved. The mangroves there well preserved. Sorry. And all of you should understand, this was 2/3 of our land. And from my office, I gaze out there, a Mumbai view that's very rare, with greenery all the way until you sight New Bombay. And now and then with friends I float on a gently moving boat with pink flamingos in full flight, to my mind a splendid sight. And now it's our aspiration to pursue research and conservation and spreading awareness all around. This strategy is very sound. As a business, we've always cared for the environment, and we don't think there is a contradiction between development and the environment. Scientifically, it is very easy to find solutions that take care of both. All development should take care of the environment, and it is very possible whenever you can avoid pollution, waste, carbon emissions by efficiency, you can use green energy, and all these solutions can enable us to have development as well as preserve the environment.
Shukran. Mr. Hussain? Yeah, I'll just read the question again. How can we reconcile modern development goals with the need for planetary compassion and care?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, developmental goals, of course, we are not just sticking to what has been defined by the United Nations, those 17 sustainability development goals. Countries have their own goals. Because let's be very clear that even amongst people, you know, we want to rise and show ourselves, whether it's in our community, wherever we are. Every individual wants to prove him or herself as a person who's got intellectual prowess and is accepted by everybody. Same is the case with nations, with countries. So countries aspire to grow both economically and militarily to come to the pecking order which they rightfully deserve. You know, India has been aspiring for it, so are the other countries. So when, ladies and gentlemen, when we aspire for modernization and we have a challenge of doing that with love, with care, with affection, concern, commitment, It is a challenge, as I brought out earlier. So we have to understand that nations will continue these developmental programs, and when you carry out these development programs, they will willy-nilly, contradict our approach, which is entirely based on love and care. So at some stage, we will have to deviate from this to ensure. Like, for example, we've been talking about our Mother Earth. We call it Mother Earth. In India, we call it Dharti Ma. So that Mother Earth today is being mutilated. We all know the way, should I stop?
Stop, yes. Thank you, thank you, General.
No, can I just finish, ma'am?
Yes, okay, quickly.
Right.
Yes.
So the way countries being mutilated, I said the Mother Earth, those aspects have got to be taken into account. And if we do not act with urgency, ladies and gentlemen, the kind of, the carbon dioxide levels, the greenhouse gas emissions that are taking place, they're going to make life miserable. And as part of this, if we have to talk about love and affection, if I was to pass on a message to all of us, if we can plant one tree during our lifetime and nurture it, we would have achieved our goal. Do you know a small plant absorbs 5 kilograms of carbon dioxide? A grown-up plant, which is 10 years old, it actually inhales and can store up to 10 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Oak tree can take in 18 kgs of carbon dioxide in a year. I'm talking about 1 year. So if all of us seated in this hall go back, find a place, we plant a tree and we nurture it for next 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, we would have done human service. And what Mr. Kharotiwala, the chairman of this entire function, has brought it out, and what ma'am has said, love and affection will play its role, but we would have done our bit as a genuine, true lovers of our Mother Earth by doing something which will actually counter, it will militate against the kind of, I would say, the problems that are occurring by the virtue by climate change and by the emission of these gases.
Shukriya. Mr. Hussein Abbasi, how can you reconcile modern development goals with the need for planetary compassion and care?
In fact, it is not easy to maintain or realize before maintaining, how to realize these objectives or goals. There are a lot of goals that are not achieved, but there are others that have been achieved. Our planet is very rich. It has a lot of natural resources. It has everything that can meet the needs of this planet and people on it. It is only how we deal with this planet. And I used to listen in the speeches about the gas emissions, carbon gas emissions. Today there is a development that we should to adopt science and technology in order to develop our performance and how to deal industrially. And I remember in our country in some time in the past, we used to encourage the care of environment and the green energy and keeping away from polluted industrials or pollutant industries, and the economic organizations help to give them exemptions and privileges by which they can realize the respect using the energy. And we should maintain this, but it was difficult, but we can exploit what this good earth gives us by using technologies, even though they are old, but how to rationalize using them, but we should also compensate them with the new energy in order to overcome these difficulties and challenges and maintain sustainable development.
Thank you. Most vulnerable, how can we reconcile modern development goals with the need for planetary compassion and care?
Zen Master Thích Nhất Hạnh in 1968 coined the term interbeing. And in this coined term, he has eliminated two categories of meaning. Number one, interbeing means inter-existence, living. By that means we have to encourage and protect all form of living in this earth. And any kind of activity or actions which are harmful to the earth means harmful to ourselves. And the destruction of forest, the destruction of water and the sky we live means the destruction of ourselves. So interbeing in this way is to encourage the compassion and loving kindness for all form of living. And under the second category of meaning, interbeing means interconnectedness or interaction. And in terms of interconnectedness, we have to avoid all kinds of negativity to others in order to respect the justice for happiness of others. So Buddhism encourages us to recognize the connection between all beings, and the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat are beyond ourselves. That's because that's come from the earth. So compassion to the earth is to do the compassion to human sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge?
الحقيقة
In fact,
إنه الحديث عن تحقيق أهداف
talking about achieving the sustainable development goals, it's a very emotional talk, an abstract talk. I think by 2030, the world should see a tangible change in terms of the realization of these goals. However, unfortunately, at all levels, we see a decline. And at this global peace, love and justice summit, we see the world is fraught with conflicts and wars. And we look around us, we will see that these conflicts adversely affect all the progress we have achieved and the goals we are working to realize. I always hope and I feel optimistic that by working collectively we can achieve many goals, not only sustainable development goals, but also we can create a better future. But these wars and conflicts must come to an end immediately. All political wills must come together and put an end to this bloodshed of humanity, because in this way we cannot ensure a peaceful and sustainable future for humanity.
Thank you. In one sentence, I have a challenge for all the panelists here. What is the one message you want every person listening today to take with them about how love can lead us to a more sustainable future? Mr. Godrej, please.
I would like everyone to take the message that loving the earth can help to save the earth, And I would also like to endorse the suggestion that one of the best ways of demonstrating our love is to plant a tree.
Thank you. Judge, you want to react on this?
حبنا لهذه
يعني إذا هناك رسالة أوجهها لكل من يستمعون إلينا
طبعا
أقول
يساعد كثيرا على الحفاظ عليها وعلى ديمومة
if we protect the earth
وعلى حسن
and make sure we preserve its resources and make better use of its resources,
بين الأمان
I believe that there is a wide gap between our hopes and our actions. By loving Earth, we can transform this narrative and we can transform our attitudes and behaviors into real achievement by preserving the richness of the earth. However, our world, and as His Excellency said, our world is seeing conflicts, destruction, and wars at all levels, at the earth and on the earth, and all of these are factors. Without our collective love for this planet, we will not be able to achieve our desired goal.
General, yours, quickly, get the response.
Ma'am, I would leave a message of say no to plastic, which has been done in this seminar. There are no water bottles which are of plastic, though some of us were carrying by mistake. And the second is, I already given out, plant a tree and nurture it.
Thank you. Venerable? One sentence.
In Buddhism, we have two concepts. One is karuna, means the sympathy of the suffering of the people. That is starting point for engagement in social activity, which is good for the society. And the concept of metta means loving kindness in the way that all our thinking and action and policy should be for the benefit of others in the way of sustainability. Thank you.
Judge, in one sentence.
Okay, إذا كنا نريد إذا كنا نحب الأرض.
If we truly love the earth and wants to preserve it, everyone in his place, in their occupations, they should work to put an end to these conflicts and wars, because before we protect the earth, we should ensure there is a peace and justice.
Thank you to panelists. So as we close this powerful session, we're reminded that climate action isn't just about science or policy, it's about our heart. Today we heard how love for the earth can inspire meaningful change across all walks of life, whether through faith, law, leadership, business, or personal practice. Our panelists have shown us that we see the planet not as a resource, but as our beloved home. We begin to act with care, courage, and commitment. From spiritual teachings to community action, from mindfulness to environmental justice, this session has reinforced that sustainability is rooted in relationship. And perhaps, most importantly, we leave with this: a more compassionate, sustainable future begins with a simple yet profound choice to love the earth back. I thank you all, and thank you to the panel for contribution.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. It's been a very, very unique session altogether. I'm going to kindly request Dr. Josefa, please to kindly join us here, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Josefa Khurakiwala, thank you for your vision. Thank you for that different feeling of going ahead and experiencing sustainability. We all have attended great conferences and conclaves on sustainability, but this connect of love and devotion towards sustainability is truly the need of the hour. One more time, a huge roar of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for all our distinguished panelists. And may we please kindly request Dr. Josefa Khurakiwala to kindly present the mementos to our distinguished dignitaries. We're going to start with Her Excellency, Madam Excellency, Dr. Amina Gureb Fakir, former President of the Republic of Mauritius. Extra round of applause for being so polite, and you spoke with every emotion and feeling. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Mohammed Abdel Salam, our judge from Egypt. Thank you so much, sir. It's absolutely an honor. Thank you so much, dear sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for His Holiness, Dr. Thich Hathu from Vietnam, the Vice President, Vietnam Buddhist. And ladies and gentlemen, let's continue the applause for our distinguished dignitaries. And wow, that one plant, we're going to take it in our hearts. Sir, your 5 kgs and 10 kgs is registered deep within our hearts. Thank you so much to Bikram Singh, General Bikram Singh, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue the applause as we like to put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for our Nobel Peace Laureate, Hossein Abbasi, sir. Thank you so much. So your words meant the world for us, though it was the translation, but we could feel it deep within us. And ladies and gentlemen, our living legend, the smiling man. Ladies and gentlemen, the philanthropist, Sir Nadir Godrej. Thank you so much, respected sir. And ladies and gentlemen, let's continue the applause as we like to also appreciate and thank once again for online joining us virtually is the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Brazil. A humble thanks to Sir Fezi Masroor Milani. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Fezi Masroor Milani. He's still online with us. Let's continue the applause. And also let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Hossein Abbasi, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody put your hands together. And Muhammad Abdul Salam. Your Excellency, our judge from Egypt. Humble thanks to each and every one of you. Oh, we love the cheer. This is a unique experience altogether, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here to move towards our next session. I'm going to please invite my lovely co-host, Enid, for our next session. Thank you to one and all, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us. We're resolving some housekeeping, ensuring our panelists stay hydrated. So while we give the lovely Dubai Expo hospitality team a little bit of time to get that done, please enjoy taking some pictures. Don't leave the room, stay with us. We're going to begin our next session very, very shortly.
Enid, I'm very excited. Meanwhile, we could also have our pictures with this most amazing backdrop I've ever experienced in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, the Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit 2025 here at Dubai Expo. Please join us for lovely photo ops. Feel free to go ahead and tag us and do hashtag. Hashtag justice, hashtag love, hashtag peace, and do tag us at all our social media accounts at Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit, Dubai. Should we go ahead with our picture? Let's go ahead.
Let's do that. We have a bit of a delay. Patience. Thank you, Simran. We'll now proceed on to our next session. Before we get on to the next session, I have a few, and you'll come to understand, I love this word housekeeping. What does housekeeping mean? It means keeping your house in order. Obviously, this event has been in culmination for so many months. I can't begin to tell you what a joy it is to see all of it come to fruition. So while we have the lovely housekeeping staff, the hospitality department doing their thing in the background, replenishing all of the water for our panelists, I'd quickly like to remind you, there are tent cards on your tables in front of you, and they're there for a very important reason. We didn't want you to feel excluded. We didn't want you to feel too far away. We wanted to make sure you feel involved. Feel free to scan the QR code on that tent card. Leave for us your questions. Feel free to address them directly to a particular panelist. If you have feedback, you can use that QR code to do so. If you have just comments, anecdotal comments, your position, your contribution to any of our topics, feel free to scan that QR code. We want to hear from you. We want you to be involved with us. A quick announcement before we move on to session number 4, which just so happens to be my favorite session. I thought it would be quite interesting for us to do a little refresh of why we're here, how we got here, and what we need to go away with. What a joy it's been to be part of this global movement, the Global Justice, Love, and Peace Summit 2025. Today here in the vibrant, visionary city of Dubai, a destination that is known for its patience, its excellence, and its refusal to get amidst conflict. In this hall today, we're not separated by borders or by titles, but united in our spirit, our purpose, our beliefs, that one more compassionate world is soon to come. These 7 goals, the 7 pillars that elevate the mission of this movement. Speak with gentleness, and I hope you've heard this once before this morning, but I think it's important to have a refresher. Speak with gentleness. Take giant strides towards global love and justice. Cultivate a generous spirit among yourselves and influence those around you. Remain genuine in your promises. Live with gratitude. Act with grace. And last but not least, to ignite a glorious chapter, one that history will remember for a long, long time to come. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, over the rest of today and tomorrow, we're going to be graced by world leaders, spiritual teachers, industrial pioneers, artists, and peace builders. Yet each one of us, no matter our title, hold an equal power to listen, to reflect, and to transform. I would love for you to take that away as a message from my 2 minutes. So given this, our next session again is about my favorite topic, and that is love. Such a simple word, 4 letters, yet so complicated for us in this time and age to follow. Let me introduce session number 4 to you before I introduce our moderator and our panelists. Love, often misunderstood to be soft. But history reminds us that this is also a transformative force, capable of reshaping the world. Mahatma Gandhi's unwavering beliefs against violence, to Nelson Mandela's pursuit of reconciliation over retribution. Yet in the world increasingly defined by division, fear, and transactional leadership, love is often dismissed as idealistic. This season aims to reclaim love as a bold, strategic force for change, capable of guiding policy, transforming institutions, and restoring human connection. It invites us to explore how compassion and kindness can be intentionally woven into the fabric of our policies, institutions, and everyday lives. Some key questions, I'm sure, will spark your minds. How can love inform policy making? What role does compassion play in resolving conflicts and healing? Why must love and spiritual wisdom be embraced in leadership? How do we, from diverse faiths and traditions, position love as a cornerstone for justice and peace across the world? Such thought-provoking questions. And some of those answers I'm sure you'll find on stage today, through the voices of our spiritual luminaries, peace builders, and humanitarian leaders. This conversation will dismantle the myth that love is idealistic or soft. Make no mistake, it is very powerful. Instead, today we will present how love is the most courageous, the most effective, and enduring force we can wield. With that, ladies and gentlemen, today is session number 4. The power of love. Can compassionate and kind love reshape our world? I'd like to dive into introducing our moderator. Comes with a huge accolade, so please bear with me as I get through this. He began his journey at the Dadar Athoran Institute, spreading spending almost 9 years immersed in prayer, ritual, and Avestan scripture. Ordained as a Nawar and later as a Maratab, he was eventually qualified as a Samil, granting him the sacred right to perform Boe at the Revered Iransha Atash Behram. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't guessed already, coming up on stage to moderate session number 4 today is, with a huge round of applause, please invite Mr. Dastur Tehemton Bojor Mirza. Let's please give him a round of applause. The High Priest of Shriji Iransha Atash Behram, a man whose life bridges sacred tradition and modern insight. He brings both spiritual gravitas and global perspective to this powerful discussion. Welcome on stage. Thank you. We proceed to welcome our dear panelists. In this order, may I please request you to join us on stage and take your seats in the order of your photographs. This way, my AV team will be swift and won't make any issues with AV. So please see where your picture is and position yourself according to that on the seats. First up, may I please invite on stage His Excellency Abd Settar bin Musa. Can we please give him a round of applause? A luminary of justice and a fortress of human dignity, our first panelist is a Nobel Peace Laureate whose unwavering advocacy has reshaped Tunisia's fight for freedom. A lawyer of human rights and activist, he has turned the courtroom into a sanctuary for the voiceless. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Abd Settar bin Musa. Coming up next on stage, may I please welcome Muhammad Asif Ali, Nawabzada. Please give him a round of applause. In him, the legacy of India's princely state meets the urgency of modern justice. As heir, apparent to the Prince of Arkot, he has transformed privilege into purpose, advocating for social equity and interfaith harmony. His life whispers an ancient truth: nobility is not inherited, it is earned. Ladies and gentlemen, His Highness Nawabzada Muhammad Asif Ali. Our next panelist, ladies and gentlemen, has a lot to say, so please put your hands together for Dr. Hoda Galal Yasser. Please welcome a titan of the industry and a matriarch of empowerment. She is the president of the Arab Women Investors Union, shattering ceilings with every step. Up on stage is a name I'm sure a lot of you have seen across your social media and the internet. However, she deserves a decent introduction. From the silver screens to the global stages, our panelist coming up next is not just a lady, but a phenomenon, an actress, a model, a voice for the youth who proves that influence is best measured by impact. With millions of followers, she wields stardom as a spotlight for change. If you haven't guessed already, wait for our panelists to arrive. Let me please introduce to you our final panelist for session 4. A bridge between tradition and progress, our next panelist is both a visionary senator and a royal guardian of Kenya's cultural heritage. As Queen of North Kenya and a member of parliament, she champions unity through policy and heart, reminding us that leadership is a service. Join me in honoring a woman who wears a crown with a cause, Her Royal Highness Senator Hizena Limaletian. Let's put our hands together for Her Royal Highness. I suppose we have some of our panelists that have been caught up in conversation, but never mind. There is no harm in starting our session so we can ensure that we respect everyone's time. I just want to quickly inform our moderator, if you will, as we move through the rich dialogue of this session, may we please ask all our speakers to be mindful of time so that every voice may be heard equally and be honored equally, please. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to hand over to our dear moderator. The remainder of our 2 panelists will join us.
Sure.
And I'm here to help you if you need me.
Absolutely. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. In Zoroastrianism, fire is not just an element, it is sacred. It represents purity, divine truth, and the eternal light of our Lord Ahura Mazda. We regard fire as the divine Son of God. Just as fire illuminates darkness and brings warmth, love too has the power to light up our lives, offering hope, healing, and clarity in uncertain times. Fire purifies, transforms, renews, as does love, when rooted in compassion, allowing us to grow and evolve. History is lit with examples of the leaders who sparked change not through might, but through love. Their flame of kindness reshaped societies, inspiring justice, equality, and peace. As we sit together today, representing diverse walks of life, cultures, and disciplines, I invite each of you to reflect deeply what becomes possible when love and compassion are not reserved for private life, but becomes tools for public change, a force for public transformation. With this, I open the session. To my panelists, I would be giving you an open question. Please feel free to answer. My question is, what does the phrase, the power of love, mean to you in the context of our modern society? Anyone can start, please.
Yeah. I think the love is the main builder for the better future of the humanity.
Okay.
When you give love, you receive love. Then this is the main support for real sustainable, general sustainable development in each sector.
Understood. Rishi, would you like to share?
Apologies for the interruption.
Sure.
I'd like to give you something. This is for the Senator Hezena.
Right.
And also, we're doing this deliberately as we would really like to introduce her and welcome her on stage, ladies and gentlemen. The current Senator Hezena. Can we give her a round of applause as she joins us in the room? And also a round of applause for Ms. Urvashi Rautela, who's made her way to the panelists. Happy to announce we now have a complete panel.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. I would again open up the question. What does the phrase, the power of love, mean to you in the context of our modern society? This is an open question. Anybody can answer it, please.
Assalamu alaikum. A very good evening. Vanakkam, from the state I come, in India. First of all thanks to the Almighty and all thanks to the curator, the head of this event, Dr. Huzaifa Kurakiwala, who's here with us. Very well done, sir. It's very important in today's world that we talk about justice, peace, and love. And the question, what does love mean to you in modern society? I think even a small gesture like a smile can change things, can move mountains. And love, by way of expressing in various ways, can bridge a lot of gaps, can clear many misconceptions, can bring people of various backgrounds together. So love is more, for me, it's more like a magic or a miracle which can do wonders.
Thank you for the answer, sir. My question now is to Abdestar Ben Musa. What role did listening play in the Tunisian Quartet's process of peacemaking?
قبل الجواب عن هذا السؤال
with the answer.
بعد أن أقول سلام الحب عليكم.
And after I say the peace of love to all of you,
أن أتحدث عن قوة الحب.
I would like to talk about the power of love. History has made the power of love eminent and everlasting. And I want to go back to what Gandhi has said. He said, love is stronger in the world. Love is the essence of the human existence. Wherever love exists, life exists. Hatred cannot cast away love. Love is the only power that can cast away hatred. And with these words, we can say that love is the essence of life. Without love, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be communicating. I go back to your question. As for listening, how in the negotiation and discussion that we have done, we were successful to overcome violence and to go for peace. We were listening to people. We were listening to their problems, to their sufferings. We will host meetings in each association or organization. We'll move to markets, to radio stations, to clarify to people that power will lead us nowhere. And regimes that are built upon power, such as Nazis, were failing regimes. Even the systems and regimes that are built upon power right now will fail. And love is the basis of life. We were trying to convince people with this. And we were able to convince parties that were butting heads together and fighting together. And we were able to create a roadmap and to create a constitution in the first time in our country's history to believe in love as a basis.
Thank you, sir. My next question is to Senator Hasina. How have you seen love heal tribal, ethnic, or generational divides in northern Kenya?
Good evening, everyone, all protocol observed, and thank you so much for the question and for the opportunity to be here today. First of all, through my own personal experience, coming from one of the most marginalized minority communities in Kenya, and managing to rise above all stereotypes and hurdles to get to the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, is a true testament of what compassion has helped in this journey. Through the mentorship of my party leader, the former Prime Minister of Kenya, His Excellency Right Honorable Raila Odinga, I got an opportunity to be on the same stages during the campaigns, to be able to have my voice heard, and not just my voice, but representing every other minority voice and the voice of young girls in Kenya who want to be part of leadership. Through my foundation, the Hezena Lemalitian Foundation, I started an initiative back then in 2018 where I served as reigning Miss Commonwealth Kenya and the first girl from the northern parts of Kenya. I founded an initiative called the Pastorally Sports Initiative, which was solely meant to bring together different warring communities in the northern part of Kenya to take part in sports and tournaments that ensured that these communities would come together through a cultural cohesion and coexist within a confined environment for about 1 week, taking part in sports, interacting, creating cultural cohesion, and learning to love each other. And through that, I have seen intermarriages happening in communities that once considered themselves taboos to come close to each other. And the whole purpose of starting this was to create the cultural cohesion and demystify stereotypes that made these communities fight. If anybody knows Kenya, you know that the northern parts of Kenya and pastoralist communities are forever fighting for livestock, for pasture, and for retrogressive cultures. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Nawabzada Muhammad Ali Asif Ali, sir. Your family once donated land for temples. How does generational compassion shape your vision of leadership today?
Yes, history is a witness that when the Nawabs of the Carnatic were the rulers, as Muslim rulers in southern India, they had donated, or rather, they contributed a lot of land for the temples, for Hindu temples, more than 350, and many churches and many other religious places. It only shows that leadership is about compassion, about love. It was more of a humane act. It was not strategically planned or politically planned. Because I believe that leadership is all about loving your people, and a leader need not be just a leader of any nation. Even the boss or the head of the house is also a leader of that space. And it's all about loving your people. That shows the growth, that shows improvement in that space. I think the best example of a leader loving its people and showing the development is today, according to me, is His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. I think that is an example of development out of love.
Thank you for the wonderful answer, sir. Dr. Hoda, in development models across Arab nations, how do you infuse love into long-term planning? For your country, ma'am.
We introduce love by starting by loving everyone, sharing experience, thinking about the benefit of others before thinking about the benefit of our own business or our own family. We have always to start by seeing the benefit for the others, then it will surely, when you give benefit and you support others, they will support you. Through this came the idea of sustainability, of success. How to create success by spreading, starting by loving the other and thinking about his own benefit, then it will return to you directly, very quickly and very easy matter to develop yourself, your family and your countries.
Thank you. Urushi, as a Smile Train ambassador, what has been your most powerful lesson about love in action?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries out here. I truly feel that justice and love, when forged together, can lead to peace. And as I already truly believe that, kindness is timeless, so being kind with each other is something which is truly important, not carrying forward with whatever religion we come from or whatever. I truly feel that kindness is timeless, and at the same time, kindness is the language which a blind can see and a deaf can hear. So that's what I truly believe in.
Thank you. So I will be putting across an open question. Anybody can pick up from here. Can you recall a personal experience where compassion or kindness made a significant impact on you or someone else?
Thank you so much. I rarely share this, but when I was about 1.5 years old, I got really burnt to a 4th degree burn on my feet. You can barely see the scars, but they are there. And I remember I was missing school, but there was this one teacher who really, really wanted the girls from my community to go to school. And we were about 4 girls in the whole school, in the whole classroom. And this teacher used to carry me every day from home. And she would walk for miles just so that I don't miss classes and so that I do well in my exams. Until today, it's a very emotional thing for me. And because of that, I would never want anyone else to suffer while I'm watching. It impacted my life a lot. Thank you.
Anybody else would like to answer that, ma'am?
Yes, I have. First of all, thank you so much, and thank you for everybody to be here. You know, it's very hard in the end of the day after lunch to be to be that fresh they are. I'm just saying about one of my own experience, because we are a group of family. It's a family business. Now, my father founded Sen 50 years ago, and always he drives the companies, the factories where work 14,000 employees with love. Everybody was astonished. Even the financial controller said, yes, boss, you spend a lot for birthdays, for people who had some problem in the family. Always you are here, you spend too much money. It's not correct. This is too much expenses. Then I learned from my father that if the leadership is not leading the group with love, he will never succeed. On this very young of my age, I was looking to him, saying maybe my father is wrong. But to see now all these employees, how they are attached to the group of company, to our group of factories and companies, how they are attached, how many other competitors offer to them much more money, much more facility, they always refuse because they feel it's their own family. They are surrounded by love and security for their family. If anyone happens something to him, he always knows that he will come and knock the door of any one of the board, which became, after my father passed away, me and my sons. I have 4 sons.
Fantastic.
Thank you. And
Yes,
this
sir.
is proof that the love make a lot.
Sure.
Thank you.
Change. Thank
Sir, yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So I will not go into one specific incident or anything, but I would like to say, very generally, that this applies to everyone. Human beings are hungry for love. Okay, it's as simple as that. Don't hold grudges. Don't judge people. Just be nice to them, even if you're not talking to someone for a long time, or you have something which has hurt you, what they have said. Just sit and talk.
I totally agree with you on
Right?
that.
Just sit
Absolutely.
and talk, smile. Just be non-controversial. That's what I believe, because people are hungry for love and affection. And this works, I would like to say, every time. And this is a common factor. I think every religion, every religious scripture says that, talk with love. Even your worst enemy becomes your best friend. Don't hold grudges. If I hold this bottle, right? Thank you, ma'am. If I hold this bottle, it's a small grudge, okay? I'm holding like this. But how long can I hold it? My arm will start paining after some time. Right? Don't hold it for long. Just let it go. And this applies not just to human beings, but to every living thing. Right? You show love, they come close to you.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Great. I do resonate with what you and Madam Yoda said. In fact, even in my corporate career, before I became the high priest, when I was on certain positions and was handling team of more than 100 plus people in my career, I strongly believe when you sit down, discuss the conflicts that we may have internally, and just iron out things that you have problems with, it does create a positive environment for everyone. And I have personally experienced this. It creates an amazing connect between you and your employee, you and your colleagues, and it can make a huge difference. And I'm sure this can make a huge difference in the better part of the world. So moving on, Abid Ben Musa, one more question for you, sir. How do we build dialogue, cultures where compassion is not dismissed as weakness, sir?
In fact, before answering this question, I would like to mention a story, a real story, about the love of the mother to her son, and a fictional story. The real story, one of the students, the teacher gave him a paper and don't open it and give it to your mother. When that student came back to when he came back home, he gave the paper to his mother, and when she read what is written, she told him, the teacher says that you are a smart student and you cannot keep up with these students, but the mother can take care of you because you are not in need of study and learning. And the child grew and became an adult and learned by his mother. Then he became a scientist. When he became a scientist and his mother passed away, he went to see what is written in this paper. What did he find in it? He said, your son is mentally retarded, he cannot learn, so please keep him at home. How the mother changed what was written and made something, and this is a famous scientist, by the way. The other story is about the importance of love before peace and justice. It was said that one of the honored people, and he hosted one of the people in his home, one of the generous people. One day he had 3 people, and he ordered the guard to enter every one and tell his name, and he asked him, what is your name? He said, peace. And he said, wait, don't enter. He asked the other one, what's your name? He said, justice. He told him, don't enter, please wait. And he asked the other one, or third one, he said, love. He said, you should enter, and by love we can realize justice and love.
بالنسبة للسؤال يعني في اعتقادي الوعي أهمية الوعي.
I think the importance of awareness.
يعني لا يكون حوارا مع
There
الجهل.
there will not be any dialogue with
بأهمية الرحمة. الأديان كلها حثت على الرحمة.
ignorance. All the scripts or religions encouraged mercy, and this is our role to achieve these values where the scripts were built on, to do and to achieve these values. In our history, the humanity history, we praise a lot history which scripts a lot of history. I will mention a line, the poetic line for Antara al-Absi, one of the. He says, people of high rank are not carrying hatred, and people of high rank do not carry hatred, and the anger will not be the characteristic of the people of high ranks. What is the value? The value of people lies in their principles. Money and ranks and the titles will disappear. They will not remain forever.
Thank you, sir. Senator Hasina, in your advocacy for youth inclusion, how do you embed empathy into leadership development?
Thank you. Like I said earlier on, I was born and raised in the northern parts of Kenya, a small community called the Samburu, in Samburu County, a space where dignity was not handed to us, but something we held on to fiercely, even when the systems failed us. And from the classrooms of rural Kenya to the Senate chambers today, my own example has been a journey shaped by struggle, shaped by love, and most of all, compassion by the people who believed in me. And so along the way, I wore so many hats, but at the heart of this role was a singular mission to serve and to restore visibility and dignity to those who have been overlooked for far too long, and to lead not with authority, but with empathy. And in that regard, when I won this position as a senator, I ensured that, first of all, my office only employed the young people, the youth. I didn't care about experience. I only cared about anybody who was qualified academically, anybody who was disciplined and humble, and they got a job. Because we have this tendency a lot in Africa, I don't know if it happens in the rest of the world, that we tend to give position or jobs to people who know somebody in power. And when I was a hustling youth, a tamaking youth, what we say in Kenya, I had no one in power. So I made a promise and I swore to myself that one day when I get to the top leadership of this country, I am going to knock open those doors and employ youth who do not know anybody in power, and employ youth who do not have a godfather or a sponsor, and youth who come from the overlooked minority communities. And so when I speak of kindness, to me it's not a theory, it is somebody who has lived true to its power. And through so many initiatives, everything I do is centered on the young people, because I have been a victim of failing to get opportunities. But what has gotten me to all the awards I've won globally, International Youth of the Year in 2023 in absentia, and the African Hall of Fame in Ghana, where I met with Dr. Singh and the entire Chamber of Asia-Africa Chamber of Commerce, it is all because of people who believed in me. So I use the same thing that was done to me to impact others. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, ma'am. Nawab Zada, sir, how do you personally engage in dialogue that softens religious or ideological boundaries?
I have always believed what my father has believed, and his father, and as a family, that to bring people together, irrespective of what caste or creed or faith you come from, we have always believed that if you bring people together, that's why at our place in Amir Mahal, in Chennai, in the country of India, we strive to bring people together in the name of art, in the name of culture, in the name of sports. You feed people, you spread love. Food is a very good medium of bringing people together. And I think the ideology that all of us here on the stage, off the stage, and everyone to believe that we are the creation of one supreme God. If you believe in God, there is only one God. I may call him Allah. You may say God, you may say Bhagwan, you may say Ishwar, whatever you want to call. But there is only one creator. If you believe in that ideology, and if you go with that kind of a mindset, I think you can bring people together. Stop judging people. Stop saying that my religion is the best. Stop building walls. Stop killing people in the name of religion. We will live once. We have only one life. Let us give. Let us not take away. I think that's what I'll finish by saying, that the evidence that we are one human being is that we are all the same model. If there were two creators, we'll be of two different models. We have the same color blood. I will not know who's who. I will not know who's a Muslim, who's a Hindu, who's a Christian, who's a Sikh, unless I see your identity. So we are one. Let us live as one human beings and make this world a better place. There are extremists, small extremists in every religion, but they don't represent the religion. Right? This extremists, they have no religion. In fact, people who believe in God, it is their duty to make sure that we all come under the same umbrella of believing that we are children of one God, we are one species living together, and we teach this to our children to make this world a better place to live in. Thank you.
So, sir, I have a follow-up question on this. I have a follow-up question on this for you again. What role do compassion and kindness play in leadership and decision-making? Can a compassionate leader create real change in an organization or government?
Definitely yes. I believe that either you can be a leader or you can be a boss. Boss nobody likes, right? Leader is loved by people, right? Boss will give you orders. Leader will share the work together, right? There is faster development if there is a leader, and there is ultimately a failure when there is a boss. So I think when the leader shows compassion, shows love to his people, it is the duty of the leader to make sure that everyone develops. The whole place develops. See, you are not a leader unless you love your people, right? You are made a leader for the people. You're not made a leader to say that I am the leader, right? I again tell, the best example of leadership is here, in this very land. The development we have seen here in the past few decades, how does that happen? That happens only when the leader loves its people. In turn, the people love the leader. So that cycle creates the magic.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Hoda, one more question for you, ma'am. How can compassion, how can love on a global scale help us address major issues like poverty and global conflict?
Do you mean how we can go against poverty and global?
Yes.
Okay. This now, as I said before, the importance of sharing with people, the importance of looking after the responsibility for each people who has a company, who has a factories, for any boss or leader. He should always think about the importance for the company responsibility against the surrounding global people around. I will give a small example. If you have a big factory in a village or in a governorate, and all the people around you are in very bad situation financially, it will create two things. Or they will start to hate this company, which start to grow up and see camions coming and going and take full of products and delivered, and they don't have even food for their children, as we saw it in many countries, in the special place for industry, because I'm an industrial woman, and I saw this in many countries. It will create hating from the other people, or they will start to be against this. But do you think if the boss or the leader of this big industrial factory, by example, start to help them to make some program to encourage them and to train them to be employed in this factory or in this company. They will start to feel this is for their benefit to create this big factory in this area. And they will start to be trained by the employee, by the people in this company, and they will develop their skills through training and employ them. They will get better life for them. And for the boss, he will get a lowest salary, because we will not oblige to bring the people from the big city who are very well educated. No, he can start with them. It will be benefit for him, and it will create a win-win situation. And this is same applied with countries. When a poor country on the middle and very rich countries around, if they didn't collaborate to create a win-win situation, I think the result will not be for the benefit of the others.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir. Later. Okay. Urvashi, one more question for you. How can celebrities use their platforms to normalize kindness in a world obsessed with image?
You mean like cinema or celebrities? I truly feel when it comes to the peace and global harmony, global harmony comes with a unique blend of commitment with compassion towards others. Especially when it comes to cinema. Cinema is something between art and life in general. Having done films, cinema is a place where we get to show so many emotions when it comes to the violence or love, hate, action, all varieties of emotions. It is a place where we show the highs and the lows with unflinching honesty. At the same time, cinema is also a place where you touch lives of the souls of everyone. So I feel that with cinema, the kind of scripts we have or the kind of narration we give to our audiences, we can definitely promote global justice with love and peace. I also had a movie release day before yesterday. The movie is called Jat, and I re-collaborated with the same artist. He's a Bollywood superstar called Sunny Deol, who basically launched me in Bollywood back in 2013, 22nd November 2013, with the film called Singh Saab the Great, where I played his wife, and I played a role of Minnie. At the age of 19, when I signed the film, I signed my first ever movie contract. And the Bollywood superstar, Sunny Deol ji, was the person who taught me what is the right way to sign up a contract. I mean, it was just so helpful to see such kind of kindness from such a big, huge Bollywood superstar. He told me, Urvashi, this is the right method, and then that is something which I followed from that day till now, that what is the right way to sign up the contract, how to read the contract, or, what is the right method to sign up a contract. He told me everything about movie contracts when I was 19. Cut to after 12 years, when our movie got released 2 days back, I told him, and his father, Dharmendra Deol ji, is also a legendary Bollywood superstar. We had the movie premiere in Mumbai. I met him, and that time he told me that, Urvashi, I will say the next sentence in Hindi. Urvashi, कुड़िए, तेरे को पता है जो ईगो नाम की चीज़ होती है ना, उसको अपने पैर के नीचे रखना और उसको कुचल देना. Ego is something never ever carry forward in your life. Ego को पैर के नीचे रख करके कुचल देना. So from 12 years till now, I told him that, Dharmendra ji, I have been following all your life's advices. I've been following all your life's golden rules till now. And, it was so funny. It was very funny banter between me and him, because he told me, अगर तू पहले आई होती ना, तो मैं तुझे अपनी picture की heroine बनाता. So it was like kind of very funny, working with him, and the kind of life lessons which I got from working with such Bollywood legends and Bollywood superstars. And that is the same kind of kindness justice, obviously, you love without justice is nothing, according to me. So I truly feel I would love to carry forward the all kind of amazing teachings, the kind teachings I got from my co-stars at that time to now. Whenever I'm working with a newcomer or like an outsider in cinema, I would always love to be so kind, so caring, the way how my actors made me feel 12 years back. I would love to be the same manner and, carry forward my teachings, whatever I got from them. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Would you like to give some?
I wanted to mention one thing. If you want to see love in action, come to my country, India. I am honored to represent my country, India, here. And India, okay, first let me see how many of you put your hands up. How many of you have been to India or from India? Okay, 50%.
All of them.
We are 1.4 billion people, many states, 500 dialects of language, different food, every 100 kilometers different food, but people love each other. In spite of so many sects and languages and beliefs, we are one. Don't go by the social media stuff going on there, small one incident here, there. But India is an example of love and peace. People love each other. We feed you lots, okay? We love you so much, but we keep feeding you so much till you say, I hate you. Stop. So that's how much we love you.
Thank you.
And we are so loving that we have reached everywhere in the world. Every country, any country you go, you will find some Indian there. And here in this country, millions of Indians. The leader, His Highness of this country, not only loves his people, but also loves the people of other countries, in fact. So I would like just to finish by saying that, I don't know when, but one day I would love, my dream, to meet His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and hug him and kiss his hand and say that you are the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure.
Can I
Also,
add
I'd like to
something?
add with, I'm really sorry. Also, I'd like to add, being a fellow Indian and having won 2 times Miss Universe India 2012 and 2015, and also, representing my country on an international level multiple times, I'd like to say that in India, we say Atiti Devo Bhava. We believe that our guest, we welcome with open hearts and open arms. If I talk about my team, Mr. Hassan, he's from Pakistan. He's waving right me here. And there's Mariam Budhani, she's from Kuwait. And the makeup artist from today was from Bahrain. The hair was from Syria. So in general, we are just like so receptive of everyone around us. We don't believe in indifferences when it comes to religion. We believe in love, compassion, inclusion. That's what India is all about, and that's what we Indians stand up for. So being an Indian, it's an extreme pride, and whenever I step out of my country, I always wear my Indian flag on my chest, like right here. So I extremely feel very, very proud to be an Indian, and we believe in inclusivity, and we believe in giving so much love and care to everyone around. So that's what I believe in, and that's what I believe all of us, all the Indians believe in. So thank you.
Thank you, Roshi. We'll have just 30 seconds. We have to wrap it up.
I want to say something.
Sure.
Yes, exactly.
Really, India is a very beautiful country, and I was there 2 months ago in Mumbai. Really, it's a fantastic country. But here I am representing Egypt. I'm so proud to be an Egyptian woman driving the 22 other Arab countries with a very big committee of Africa. I want to say that in Egypt, we practice the love between Christians and Muslims. And also the love is explained by the 2 religions. Muslim by zakah, they give 2% and a half for the poor people, obligations, and the Christian give from their net profit, they should give 10% for the other poor people. Here it's create a really support between both. No Christian, no Muslim thinks when they give this donation for poor people, what is their religion? They give it just to give the people in need.
Sure.
This is a beloved country I am coming from, Egypt.
Great. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Closing thoughts, ma'am? Yes.
Yeah. My closing remarks will be, and what I would like us to take home is that we might all sit here and think that, imagine that all problems of this world emanate from leadership, and we might sit there on our chairs and think that we are not leaders. We are all leaders in different capacities. And since all problems that our nations and humanity is facing emanates from leadership, and that I'm talking about political, corporate, religious, and everyone is involved, let us not bury our heads in the sand. All systems and sectors are correlated or interrelated, and we must stop reinventing the wheel. Let us teach our young people compassion through action. Let us lead with love. Let us show people what you need. I mean, they say, do unto others what you need to be done to you. And if there was no exploitation by multinational corporations, we will not be having what we have in the Congo region right now. If there was no scramble for minerals and resources in Africa, those African countries that you call third world will not be fighting today. Let us remember that compassion is what has healed divided nations, kindness is what bridges gender gaps, and love is what sustains humanity when all systems collapse. Thank you, and God bless each of you.
Thank you. Thank you. So any closing remarks?
نحن مسؤولون عن الأطفال.
We are responsible
الأطفال
for
هم
children.
المستقبل.
They are the future.
وعلينا حمايتهم.
We have to protect them.
والتضامن معهم.
We have to
ومنع
go with them hand in hand to stop
ومنع قتلهم وإبادتهم في كل
killing
أنحاء العالم وخاصة
in all
في
parts of the
فلسطين.
world, especially in Palestine.
Thank you, sir. So, as we draw this session to a close, let us carry with us truth that echo through every voice on the stage. Love is not a sentiment. It is strategy, it is strength. When compassion leads, it dissolves division. When kindness shapes our systems, justice becomes more than policy. It becomes practice. May each of us leave here committed to building a world where love is not the exception, but the foundation. Thank you to our extraordinary panelists and to each of you for listening with an open heart. Thank you once again.
We would like to also thank Dr. Huzaifa Sahab, Mirza Sahab, for the honor bestowed upon us. And we'd like to thank all of you for being here and to listening to us so patiently. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. All thanks to God. Thank you.
Thank you to all.
Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed panelist, our moderator, please join us center stage as we would like to give you a small token of appreciation for your time, your attendance, and your commitment to our 7 values. May we please bring on the mementos for our moderator in the order of Dastur Tehemton Bonjour Mirza, our dear moderator, has done a fantastic job of connecting these powerhouses to us on stage today. Followed by His Excellency Abdesattar bin Musa. Thank you. We'll proceed to provide a memento. First, could we please hand a memento to our distinguished moderator, Dastur Tehemton Bonjour Mirza. Thank you for doing us the honors today. Truly a pleasure and quite an impactful session there. Next up, His Excellency Abdesattar bin Musa. Thank you very much, His Excellency, for your contributions to the panel this afternoon. Her Royal Highness Senator Hezina Lemeletian, could we give them a round of applause, please? Thank you so much for your contribution, and your closing remarks were spot on, leaving us with a very, very impactful message for today. Thank you very much, Dr. Hoda Glaliyasa, for your time and your attendance. Next, could we please hand the memento to Nawabzada Muhammad Asif Ali. Thank you so much for your contribution to the panel this afternoon. And last but not least, our final panelist of the afternoon, Ms. Urvashi Rautela. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to each one of you today. We talked about how can love reshape the world we live in. And you've heard this from different perspectives. You've heard this as a leader, as businesswomen. It is incredible to bring such true leaders on the stage today and discuss such a relevant topic. We also have a small thank you from Dr. Hoda Yosa, presented to Dr. Korakiwala. We'll just take a group photograph first and then proceed with the award. For those of you patiently sitting in the audience, I'm sure you found these sessions very, very informative. We have some more information to pass around. So let's get done with our mementos, and I promise we'll move on swiftly. Speaking of hospitality there, Mr. Nawabzada has mentioned that Indians are very fond of our food. So is every culture, to be honest. The way to the heart is through the stomach, and I totally agree. Can we please have Dr. Huda Yosa please hand over? And if I may please invite on stage Commander George Marshall. Please, with a round of applause, welcome the President of Liberia to hand over a thank you and a token of appreciation to Dr. Korakiwala. It's quite a bit of a walk. Can we please give Commander George Marshall, the President of Liberia, a huge round of applause. On behalf of the President of Liberia, it's a token of appreciation for Dr. Korakiwala and his vision, his profound vision of bringing the world together in the name of unity, justice, peace, and love. How lovely is that? This doesn't happen on stage every day. Look at that. What a sweet, sweet, hospitable gesture on behalf of the President of Liberia. Thank you so much, Commander George Marshall, for doing us the honors. It is lovely to have you in our presence. Thank you. Huge thank you, panelists. You may now take your seats. Thank you. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I hand over to my lovely host, Simran, who's here on time and ready to take you through the next couple of sessions. Please make sure you sit tight, take out your mental notepad. You do not want to miss.
Right now is the brightest in the entire day, and that's only because of the presence of Miss Urvashi and our beautiful, distinguished panelists, Your Excellency's presence. So I'm going to truly continue in the next 2.5 minutes from now. But nevertheless, do remember to have your pictures with the backdrop and do tag us on Instagram, Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit, and hashtag so that we all stay connected. I'm so overwhelmed, elated, and on her natural high altogether. It's always about the love that we speak, but to experience it is a unique feeling altogether. A complete wow moment indeed for all of us. The next 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to have Guruji join us live here. We're going to seek his blessings and at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, his great, beautiful words of wisdom. Please mark this moment and this date in your calendars. This could truly change our lives today and tomorrow. Even if we accept and put one sentence into our practical life, we could be from one stage to a different stage altogether, climbing the ladder of success, being the best version of ourselves. So in the next 90 seconds, I'm going to please welcome you all in the ballroom and request you all to be seated as we'll all be blessed with that beautiful feeling. What a pose. Wow. We love you, Miss Urvashi. Thank you so much for giving us not just your presence, but your love and warmth. So another 90, yes, 90 seconds, sir. You said 3 minutes. So 90 seconds. I know everyone is very excited, but with folded hands, may I please request you all to take your seats. It's please a humble request as we're going to have Guruji join us in the next 60 seconds from now. I know, no ma'am, you can take. You don't have to do last. Ab jitne lenge, we'll wait for you. But ladies and gentlemen, the rest of you, I'm going to kindly request you to please, if possible, be seated. We have 50 more seconds. Sure. We thank you, ma'am. You look so stunning. I don't have words to always describe your beauty, Ms. Urvashi. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next 30 seconds, and I'm going to please request you all to be seated. My lovely family, to kindly request everyone to take their seats, please. My lovely family who's here with me, to please request everyone. We have 2 brilliant sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in this beautiful world. Yes, of course, we have all the yugs. And as we all know, this yug, and to really move us from darkness towards light, ignorance towards knowledge, we need a guru. We shall have in the next 45 seconds, Guruji join us here live. Thank you. So another 30 seconds to go. My name is Simran Ahuja, and I'm here from the spiritual country, India. And so delighted to see the beautiful souls here. All of you are so spiritual, and that's the reason we all have connected so well. But I'm going to please, right now, with folded hands, humbly request you all to please take your seats. In the next 25 seconds, we shall officially begin our next session. So I'm going to kindly request, personally, come ahead. I have 25 seconds to go. And thank you to each and every one of you. May I please kindly request you to take your seats as Guruji shall be here. And thank you very much. Everyone who's outside, we have a beautiful feeling all together, a connect. Everyone who's outside, I request you all to join us in the ballroom for this lovely session by Guruji. More than a session, it's his words of wisdom. So humble request to all of you to kindly take your seats with folded hands. May I please request you all. What a beautiful feeling indeed, sir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. With folded hands, I like to greet you all with joy.
Stop till the last gun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar Ji has changed the lives of more than 550 million lives, showing them the true path, the path of the inner light, where Guru, yes sir.
Dear friends, we are going to have a meditation session from Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, and I think it is a disrespect to any panelist or speaker that if you are standing and having separate conversations, I would request everybody to sit down so that we give respect to the panelists, we give respect to the speaker, and they feel that the audience is listening to them. And so I would respect you that in case your conversation with somebody else is very important, then you can please go outside and have a conversation. And if you're inside, you try and listen to the panelists. And that is the respect we give the speaker and the panelists. Thank you.
Humble thanks to you, dear sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Guru means darkness and ignorance and showing us the light. And Dev means universal divinity. Jai Guru Dev means victory to the divine within you. It's time for all of us to go within ourselves, where science and spirituality go hand in hand. Who am I is spirituality. What is this is science. We are truly blessed here at our Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit to have the divine presence of the light himself. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please with folded hands, at the same time with all humbleness, put our hands together for our founder of the Art of Living Foundation. At the same time, a global spiritual leader spreading through love, compassion and enthusiasm, world peace. Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause. His Holiness, the Light himself.
Hello, Dr. Hozafia Kuriawala and all the members present there. It's such a pleasure to be with you all today. Though we are quite far away in time and space, but we are also connected. And I feel this is what is so much necessary today to create a sense of connectivity to people. We have one planet Earth, and we must all feel that we are part of one humanity. The shift in our consciousness makes a huge difference. And I congratulate the organizers and all the participants here taking up this agenda on a global scale, pondering on what is the root cause of conflicts. First of all, it is the breakdown of communications and lack of trust, perceived threat from the other, and outdated concepts and idea about who we are and what we are and how we should be. So we need to work on several aspects: geopolitical, connectivity, gender bias has to be, checked out, all different type of prejudice that human psyche is harboring, which has been the cause of many conflicts around the world. That we need to attend. And then I would say, inside every culprit, every one who is engaged in some sort of violence, we must recognize there is a good person hiding inside them. There is a victim inside every culprit. If we heal the victim, the culprit will disappear. And reach out to those who are engaging themselves in mindless violence. And this is what we have been doing. Our volunteers and many other foundations, many other organizations are also engaged in it. But I feel that's not enough. We need to do more. First and foremost, we must the perceived the perceived threat from the Middle East. This is all that perceived threat and having no sense of belonging to people of a different ideologies or mindset. Having said this, I would say the key, where do we start then? It's peaceful individuals who can build peaceful society. If a person is agitated, is restless and very unhappy, he can only spread that unhappiness. He can only spread that agitation around. So individual peace is the basis for world peace. So we need to bring peace to individuals. And meditation is the most easy and most effective way, I would say. So meditation, again, there is a lot of misconception about meditation. People think meditation is sitting and thinking about something or doing some prayers. No, meditation is conscious deep relaxation, which would, bring in many benefits. There are more than 100 benefits. There are health benefits, there are social behavior benefits, and there are, our energy changes to more positive thing. And then I can go on and on and on. There is, the benefits are many, and they are scientifically validated today. That is another thing. Today, science and spirituality have come together. I would say, rather, they were always together. What is this is science. Who am I is spirituality. So the subjective and objective knowledge is what brings these two disciplines together. On one side, you will say they are not different at all.
Gurudev, I would like to thank you that such a gathering of Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit in Dubai, you have graced this online. Even though you are in the United States, you have got up very early in the morning and you have graced us. So I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to you. And the Art of Living is probably the greatest institution in the world, which is present in 180 countries of the world. And you have taught the people good human values through this Art of Living. Besides the Sudarshan Kriya and the breath that you have taught, the good human values you have taught. My question to you, sir, is, Gurudev, is that from the human values, if you have to select one main human value, which is the number one main human value you would select?
Compassion. Of the human values, compassion. Compassion to oneself and compassion to those who are engaging in things which we don't find it as part of human value. Yeah.
And Gurudev, I would like to inform you that after I met you in Bangalore 3 months ago, and 2 months ago you agreed to grace the occasion, and I said in return I will give a very important thing to my own self. So I did the happiness course which you have done, which you are propagating throughout the world, and more than 40 million people around the world have done the happiness course. So even I did the happiness course.
800 million people.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, 800 million. There was so many 800 million people. It means 20%, around 15% of the world population have done the happiness course. So you can imagine the impact which has been created. And one of the things in the happiness course you said is that the breath is the source of the life. So if you can just throw a little light on that.
Yeah, it's very obvious, no? The first act of life is we took a deep breath in. The last act is we will breathe out and that's it. If you don't breathe, you can't speak, you can't do anything. But we never attend to our breath. That is where it's important for us to pay a little bit attention. 5-10 minutes, I call it the mental hygiene, doing some breathing exercise every day. Yeah.
Thank you, Gurudev, for gracing our summit. And we hope that in future also you will offer your support to us. And we seek your guidance and your mentorship and your blessings. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All the best. All the best.
Gurudev, there is a request for a meditation. Will it be done live by you or will we do the... is it possible a live meditation can be done for some time? Maybe whatever time, I don't know. a small part of your time.
I'll just give you a few tips about meditation, and you can do maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes you can do. What we can do is we can all sit comfortably, easily, and let's take a deep breath in and open our eyes wide. Hold the breath. Now, as you breathe out, gently close your eyes. Your breath is fully out and your eyes are closed. And hold the breath there and watch the state of your mind. Again, breathe in and open your eyes. Breath in, eyes are open. Hold the breath and close your eyes and breathe out. Synchronize your breath with the eye movement. You will feel already there is some relaxation coming in on your way. Again, we breathe in, open your eyes, and breathe out and close your eyes. Breathe in, open your eyes, hold the breath, and as you close your eyes, you breathe out and relax your whole body. If you can do this some 10 times, synchronizing your breath with the eye movement. If you want, you can also use your hand movement. You can open your eyes when you breathe out and bring your fingers together when you close. When you breathe in and breathe out and open your eyes, your breath and eye movement can calm you down. All that you need to remember is slow down and cool down. Slow down your mind, cool down your body. Yeah? You can continue this for 5 minutes and that will give you deep relaxation. Okay? All the best to all of you. Bye.
Gurudev, again, thank you once again. And artofliving.com. If you want to do the happiness course and the meditation and you are inspired by Gurudev, please go to artofliving.com. All right. Thank you very much.
Artofliving.org.
It will go to the wrong website. So the right one is artofliving.org. That is the correct website. So you all can go there and you can learn about the great lifetime work that Gurudev has done.
Heartfelt gratitude with folded hands, Gurudev. Thank you. We are already feeling so relaxed with the synchronization of the breath, the eye movement, and of course the fingers that you taught us. And I'm truly thankful to Sir Dr. Hers, we popularly call you. Thank you, sir. You spoke about the Sudarshan Kriya and at the same time. It's time for us to enlighten our lives. We are truly fortunate that here at our summit, ladies and gentlemen, we also had the divine darshans of Gurudev. Ladies and gentlemen, His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. All we could do is just rise and put our hands together for this divine feeling. Everyone rise and feel this beautiful feeling of seeking His guidance, His blessings, and the darshan of the saints. Only a few lucky ones get. We've all seeked His darshans. So I'm truly thankful to you, sir, to our Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit for giving us this opportunity. Jai Gurudev. Please kindly take your seats. Thank you very much. Gurudev. With this beautiful feeling, ladies and gentlemen, we truly thank each and every one of you, and a gentle reminder that we shall have high tea till 6:30, and post which we're going to have our last session for our day one, the heartbeat of humanity. Can love, peace, and justice heal humanity's deepest divides? I'm going to please request you all, while we're very excited meeting and greeting all our beautiful souls from across the world, to enjoy the high tea at the same time. Join us back here in the room at 6:30. So smile and carry this beautiful divine feeling. Be feeling really fresh and rejuvenated in few seconds. Wow, what a beautiful feeling. Please enjoy and make the most of this moment by meeting and greeting everyone. And I'll welcome you back at 6:30 p.m. Thank you very much. See you back again. Thank you. Please feel free to have your photo ops here. We do have a lot of time. Everybody join us. Come on. Everyone join us on stage. This is the most wondrous backdrop I've ever seen. Everyone join us on stage. Have your photo ops and do tag us. Everybody on stage, feel free to join us with all the backdrops that we have. A very precious moment for us. Please come. You look so lovely in the Indian attire. Please come, everyone. Chandu Siroya, sir. Swagat hai aapka. Sir, please join us, sir. I can take a picture for you. Yes. Everyone join us. Please have your pictures, everybody, wherever you are. With this divine feeling and the darshans that we had, with the lovely darshans that we had, let's take lots of pictures. I'm going to take your pictures. You can hand over the phone to me. Come. Everyone, take your pictures and do remember to tag us and hashtag us as well.